There are 12 cranial nerves. So a cranial nerve is a nerve that comes off of the brain or the brain stem. As soon as we have nerves coming off of the spinal cord, we call those spinal nerves, and those are numbered, but you don't have to remember those. You do need to know these 12 cranial nerves, what they do, what their numbers are, what their names are, and what their functions are. So these are classified. We use Roman numerals, so I is equal to 1, V is equal to 5, X is equal to 10. If you're new to Roman numerals, these are the Roman numeral numbers as we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these nerves are either sensory nerves, meaning that they only receive sensory information. They are motor nerves, meaning that they only send out motor signals. Or they can be mixed, and they can have both sensory and motor fibers. Oftentimes, we just use the word both instead of mixed, so that we don't have two M's here, so sensory, motor, or both. So when we go through here, olfactory nerve is number 1, and it's sensory. Optic nerve is number 2, and it's sensory. Oculomotor nerve is number 3. This is motor only. Trochlear nerve is number 4. This also is motor only. The trigeminal nerve, this is a really big nerve. This is going to have both. Abducens is number 6. This is motor only. Facial nerve, again, another really big nerve that's got both. Vestibulocochlear is hearing. This is sensory only. Glossopharyngeal is both. Vagus is the biggest of these nerves, and this is also both. Accessory is motor, and then hypoglossal is motor. So on the exam, you need to be able to tell me the name, the number, the function of these motor nerves. You should also have a general idea of what each of these senses or motors is going to in the body. The best way to do this is to find a mnemonic device. So, for example, this is a mnemonic device for learning the names. Old Opie occasionally tries trigonometry and feels very gloomy, vague, and hypoactive. And each of these letters corresponds with the beginning of the name of the nerve. This one is from the book. I don't know if this is something you could remember or not, but there are hundreds of these online, so you can find or make up your own mnemonic device that is silly and something you can remember, and that's going to help you remember the names. There's also mnemonic devices for the functions to help you remember which ones are sensory, which ones are motor, and which ones have both. So here we'll go through all of these. So the olfactory nerve is number 1. Olfactory is the sense of smell. So this is located right here. This is actually the olfactory bulb, so this is what's left on the brain. When you remove the brain, you don't actually get the nerve because the nerve goes down into the nasal cavity. So this is sensory only for smell. Number 2, also sensory only, is optic. Optic is for your eyes, so this is your sense of vision. So your optic nerve is this really large nerve here, and these actually meet right here at this optic chiasm. The Greek letter chi is an X, and then the sensory information from the right eye goes to the left side of the brain. Oculomotor. So oculo means eye, motor is to move. So the function of this one is to move the eyeball, and this is actually going to move 4 out of 6 of the muscles in your eye. So 4 out of 6. We'll see the other 2 in a moment. Here's another one, the trochlear nerve. So this moves only the superior oblique muscle. So this is 1 out of 6 of the muscles that control the movement of the eye. This is only motor. There's no sensory information here. Trigeminal. So tri means 3. This is going to be mixed, so it's sensory and motor. And there's 3 divisions. So the first is the ophthalmic division that comes up here. Then we have the maxillary division that comes to the maxilla. And then the mandibular division that comes down to the tongue and the jaw. And so this is going to send sensory information as well as motor information to the face and the jaw. Number 6 is the abducens. So this is again going to stimulate the movement of the eye. So this is another 1/6 of the muscles that move the eye. There are a total of 6 of them. So cranial nerve number 3 is going to move 4 of them. Cranial nerve number 4 moves 1 of them. And then cranial nerve number 6 moves another 1. Add that all up and you get the 6 muscles of the eye. Number 7 here is mixed, so this is sensory and motor. And this is the facial nerve. So this is going to the face, and this is going a little bit deeper into the body than the trigeminal. So you're going to see facial expression, secretion of tears, saliva, so the salivary glands here, as well as mucus in the throat. So this is nerve number 8, and it's the vestibulocochlear nerve. So this is a bit of a big one to say. But the name of this nerve comes from the 2 organs in the ear. So inside the ear, we have the cochlea, which is responsible for our hearing, so for sound. And then the vestibule, which is over here, which is responsible for equilibrium. So this is going to be sensory, and it's going to provide us with our hearing as well as our sense of equilibrium and balance. Glossopharyngeal, so glosso usually means tongue. Our pharynx is in our throat. So this is mixed. We have sensory and motor. So this is going to the tongue here, as well as some of these glands and muscles down here controlling the throat. So underneath the tongue, we've got salivation, as well as with this big parotid gland, swallowing and gagging reflexes. The vagus nerve is the biggest one, and this goes to literally every organ in the body. And this is mixed, so sensory and motor from every organ. So we can see that this is going to go to the stomach, hunger, fullness, GI tract, all the way to the intestines, speech in the throat, heart and lungs, as well as the spleen, kidney, liver. So vagus is really go big or go home. That's what you do in Las Vegas, right? So that's how I remember this one, is that it's able to innervate almost every organ system in the body. The accessory nerve, so now we're down here at the very base of the medulla oblongata. So this is a motor nerve. This is going to go to the muscles in the neck and the shoulder, so the sternocleidomastoid and the trapezius. So this is going to control movement of the head, neck, and shoulders. And then hypoglossal. So glossal meant tongue, and hypo means below. So this is below the tongue, and this is motor. So this is going to control the movement of the tongue, as well as these muscles underneath kind of the jaw, and then above the throat area here. So take a moment, write out the names and functions of 6 of the 12 cranial nerves, and then make sure that you know all 12 of them for the exam.